Today, I have the great pleasure of speaking with Krzysztof Celuch, Professor Krzysztof Celuch. It's his last designation. Krzysztof has had an amazing career in academic, also in convention and visitors bureau, and volunteering for many organizations. He just been awarded in the All of Leaders of our industry. Enjoy the conversation with Krzysztof. Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Business of Meeting podcast. And today we are crossing the Atlantic to go to Poland and speak with a rock star in our industry. We're going to speak about all the importance of education and all his certification, but also his academic work, his volunteering work, his award now as All of Leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Krzysztof Celuch. Krzysztof, how are you?
Good afternoon from across the pond, Eric, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm okay, just after IMEX, so you know how I can feel, like everyone's in the industry.
A little tired and happy that you've seen everyone.
Absolutely. Reconnected, have an espresso, and have fun a little bit.
That's wonderful. Krzysztof, why should I say Professor Krzysztof Celuch? Because you're professor, your PhD, your MBA, your DBA, your CMM, your CITE, CIS, HMCC, CED. You don't look 120 years old with all those certifications. Why did you do that? And how did you do all those amazing education certification in your life?
Education is something that I truly believe, Eric, and this is like starting from the biggest one in academic world, professor indeed, let's say the young one, because this is this year achievement. So I fulfill my goals because I was really wanted to make it happen this year. So it happens. But starting from the beginning, I truly believe that education is something that we can use. It changed the world, and I like to educate myself. I like to listen to other people. I think the best is to learn from the others. And over this more than 20 years journey of education, yes, I joined a couple of certification programs of different industry associations. I focus on the university education and later somehow summarize these all activities in one and try to use them. So try to educate myself and later implement the knowledge from the other professors and the other trainers and the other industry leaders to share it and to give a little bit of heart to the next generation of leaders.
That's amazing, Krzysztof, what you've achieved. If I remember well, the first time we met was actually in Poland, where I was speaking at the first Future Leaders Forum. But how did you get into the industry, and what got you to be a student in that field?
Let me share this story with your audience. So in my previous life, I was dance instructor. And believe me or not, I'm not dancing anymore, but this was the story. And the idea was, I started dancing traditional folklore dances when I was 7, and I finished, in fact, when I was 27. However, when I was around 19, I focused on dancing a lot and starting the studies at the sport academy. And after 2 years, somehow I woke up and I decided that maybe this will not be the future. And making the long story very short, I started, there was only one book in Polish that time about business tourism, which was Turystyka Biznesowa by a friend, currently friend, Dr. Rob Davidson. And in the meantime, I was working as a tour guide. And just by coincidence, writing my bachelor's degree thesis about incentive travel, one of my clients, so guests in the group that I was taking care of, was Rob Davidson. So the surprise was huge because I was using the book of this gentleman and writing my thesis, and somehow he appeared in front of me. So exactly in the train from the city of Warsaw, capital of Poland, to Krakow, I got the message from Rob asking 1 billion of questions, and Rob said, become the member of MPI, Meeting Professionals International. And later there was like a there was like this river here in the Polish mountains. So step by step by step, I was listening, I was writing, I was connecting to the leaders like you are. 2005, so 17 years ago. 2003, in fact, 2003, 4, 2005, I become the member of MPI. And step by step, this is how it started. And going to our favorite, or one of the favorite memories that I have with you, is exactly 2007. Let me start the story a little bit earlier. When I got the message about MPI, I got the message about IMEX. So I applied to become a first Polish student to join the Future Leaders Forum, that time organized by IMEX. And I flew to Frankfurt and I joined. And after this session, after the whole conference, I was so inspired that I went to the gentleman, one of the directors, international relations directors of IMEX, Tom Halton. And I said to Tom, my name is Krzysztof. I would like to do the Future Leaders Forum in Poland. He smiled in a British way, said to me, let me think about this.
That's very interesting.
And year later, I have Tom, I have you, I have a couple of other people, as you remember, from Germany, from Europe mainly. And together we did the first Future Leaders Forum in Warsaw, together with the organization that you also quite know, which is ISEC. This was the beginning.
That's phenomenal. And I think here, you're talking about two things that are very dear to my heart. The first one is serendipity. The story of Rob, and then it's in front of you. You never know, it was meant to be. And the second one is how one individual can really change the world if he or she takes at heart something and start working on it. Because you did that, you start the first chapter, the list of the first that you achieve is just phenomenal. And to your example of the river, you know, one drop at the time, you continue your journey. You were in the International Board of MPI. You're now in the Board of Trustees. So I think that your journey is very inspiring for anybody's listening, especially younger generation, that from the moment you take something at heart, anything is possible. So going back after organizing this first Future Leaders Forum, you are at a crossroad, whether you're going to work in corporate or in private sector, or you're going to continue your journey in academic, in pure Krzysztof Celuch style. If you do something, you do it the best you can. But what makes you choose this academic journey at such a young age?
In fact, the academic journey was something that I was involved also before. In the high school, I really like sharing the knowledge, and I was really involved in the dancing movement. And the first NGO which I was involved is TIOF, and still I'm the member of TIOF. TIOF is International Association of Folklore Festival, Tradition, and everything linked to the tradition and folk life of people all around the world. However, the first step was at IMEX, and later from MPI, I learned the Magic Word Convention Bureau, or Convention and Visitors Bureau like it is in the States. And I found one in Warsaw. And I went there and asked for the internship, and they said no. I was quite surprised. So half a year later, when the boss has changed, I came back and I said, can I work there? And next 5 years, I was working for Warsaw Convention Bureau, from a student internship to manager. And this was unbelievable. I really love promoting the city, the capital of Poland. And after this, I make another step in let's say, in the career in the CVB. So I become the head of Poland Convention Bureau. So in total, I was 15 years involved in the CVB world here in Poland. And in the same time, by coincidence, when I graduate from my master degree, there was one of the private universities were looking for something new. And they asked me, can I share the knowledge with the about tourists and especially meetings industry? And by coincidence, I prepared the first postgraduate course about meetings and events, let's say like this, business tourism. And I implemented this. And the university, which I'm talking about, is Vistula School of Hospitality. Exactly this month, we are celebrating 25 years of teaching, of researching in the tourism and hospitality field. And I'm still with them. And currently I have the pleasure to have the role deputy rector, being involved for 1,500 students from 100 countries all around the world. So why academia? I love sharing the knowledge like you are. So this is something in common we have. And I truly believe that we should give back what we get before.
Beautiful. We also have the cigars in common, but we're not going to go there today.
Maybe next episode, not at 3
Right.
p.m., but in the evening. But this is definitely something that so Eric and myself, we have at least 3 good stories. And
Krzysztof, you also wrote a book, the importance also of not only sharing the knowledge, but using the data to make decisions. What do you tell people that you teach or consult with when it comes to collecting data? What type of data is important and the type of decision that they should make based on their data, whether it's with the convention bureau or with their organization?
So now jumping into my academic world, I focus more. I started being academic in 2006. Now it's 2022. And in this journey, so finishing one studies, doing PhD from the communication and political science, later being involved in the Faculty of Journalism, later in the international relations, and finally finding my field, which is managing experiences using the example of events. In fact, data is the king. So we share emotions, we share experiences, we are speaking to each other. However, if we need to make the business decision, and this is what we are talking about today, data is quite crucial. And without the information, you cannot make the decisions. Is it about your private life? Is it about your business life? Depends really on you. However, I truly believe that emotions and some kind of heart is also quite important, not only data.
Love it. When you're talking about some kind of heart, and also I would extrapolate on that, understanding other people that you work with, empathy, what are the main differences that you see coming from Europe when you have to deal with business in the US, or when you're involved in the international board, for instance?
My first trip to US was to San Diego. I remember till now, I was so stressed. We've been bidding for International Medical Congress in San Diego Marriott 2 Towers. And I had the presentation in front of 300 doctors there talking about Warsaw, how magic it is and everything, how I feel the city. And this journey continues. So this was 2007. And since that time, I'm in the US, I know, minimum 3 times per year, maximum even 10. It has changed, it has developed. However, the Europe has changed a lot. So this is what we can, 2 of us, discuss also, especially now, the political, the economical, the social changes. From my perspective, US is and was for me always really back to the point. This was like, let's make it happen. Let's do the business. In my opinion, European style, usually we were a little bit more discussing, building the relations. This was quite challenging for me to decide that, of course, in the States, we build the relations. However, sooner or later, it's just like back to the business. Sit in front of the screen, show me the numbers, show me the Excel, etc. And the Polish, Italian, French, Spanish style, it's a lot of discussions, a lot of coffees, a lot of thinking about, etc. So this is what I copy-paste from the US environment and from MPI environment to Poland. And till now, it's quite surprising and people don't understand this. This is exactly what you said. Eric is an example of the gentleman and speaker 2007 First Future Leaders Forum. In 4 months, we are going to organize the 19th edition. So I said yes, and just listening, implementing this and trying to make it happen. In the meantime, we changed the format, we invited more people, etc. It's not just like this. I like American style of follow-up. I like back to the business. I like let's do it. Sometimes I'm missing a little bit chit chat and stories, but this is, I think, the most important difference between Europe and US.
Yeah, this is a very good point, and I totally understand. Coming from Belgium, what you're saying, we'd start an email, say, "Hi, Krzysztof, how are you? I'm reaching out now. Would like to discuss this upcoming contract." Where here would be morning. So how about the contract?
Yeah,
Exaggerating.
And when you can sign it. Yeah,
it always makes me think, and I love this, the out of office. So in Europe, the out of office, especially you're trying to reach somebody in June, that would be, "I'm gone for the summer. Please call back in September." And in the US, it would be, "I'm going to heart surgery this afternoon, so I'll be available again tonight as from 8 p.m. So exaggerating a little bit.
And 3 other phones to who you can call and who you can reach in the meantime if I'm not available. Yeah.
Yep. But that's an efficiency I actually love. But yeah, it's sometimes thinking about what's important in life. Going back to where we live now in 2022 and education, as you were mentioning, 2007, face-to-face presentation. Today, with all the available tools, digital tools that are available, how do you see education going? What is important to you, and what is different in the way you are teaching the next generations compared to what it was in the past?
First of all, less motivation. Hospitality industry is not an easy business. Usually we are 24/7 online, currently online. A couple of hours ago, there was just a phone. Now we have 15 different tools, and usually you need to answer immediately. So this is quite challenging. And younger people, and not only younger, because it's not about age, it's rather about being new in business or being a little bit experienced. Less motivation. People don't want to work so hard and not to get billions, because let me be clear, this is not the industry where you can make every single day hundreds of millions US dollars or yens or euros. Firstly. Secondly, lack of inspiration. There are so many wonderful people all around the world doing lovely things. Always, I will give you my example. Always at the beginning of the new class where I'm traveling somewhere or where I'm speaking somewhere, my question is, did you go online and check who I am? Easy, just, I know you can't pronounce my name. It's difficult. There are a couple of people in this industry where have difficult names, but in the internet, you can learn a lot. Even our conversation today, where are you? Where did you come from? And later we started recording. People, and the third one, people are not prepared. If you're using my time, if you're spending with me this 2 minutes, 12 minutes, or 2 hours, be fully with me. This is like drinking espresso and checking the posts on the Facebook. Focus. If you want to have a good espresso, let's focus on espresso, cigar, or good single malt. If you want to go on the phone, I will come back in 20 minutes. And this is, for me, this is really, really important. Like, it sounds maybe a little bit arrogant, but if someone doesn't have 15 minutes to me to drink with me coffee, single malt, water, or jog, maybe this is not the good person to sit with.
Interesting. Thank you for that. When you're coming to the US for the meetings, how do you prepare compared to how do you prepare for a meeting in Europe? And how do you lead those meetings when it's your turn to do that?
Now we are jumping into the business world, because apart from the being academic, I have my small boutique company and I'm the business owner, let's say like this. It's only some kind of percentage of my life. However, this is what I really love because I'm in the industry. This year, half of my clients are based in Europe, half of my clients are based in Middle East, and just a few in the States. The difference between US and Europe, I think it's building the relation. But this element has changed a lot, especially after COVID. Before it was really long marathon. Not long, but marathon. Marathon is long, so this is quite easy. To build the relation in the States took years. And finally, if you are in the game, absolutely you are in the game. If you are in the family, you're smoking cigars together. But in Europe, somehow, if you are really if you find something, the direction that you really like, and people will trust you, even if it's your first time or second, they will give you a chance. For me, always in the US, it was quite difficult to be in Warsaw or in Poland or in Europe and making some kinds of agreements happen in the States. This was rather challenging. This is the big difference, I think, I see currently. And the another one is just a mixture, because 15 years ago, if you go to America, at least from my perspective in this industry, they were purely, let's say, Americans. It doesn't matter which nationality, but Americans. Now, it's so mingling, so exchanging. People are changing the countries, cities, companies. We are so much more flexible than we were, Eric, together 15 years ago.
No, 15 years ago, I was an American. Now I am.
This is the biggest difference. Exactly.
Krzysztof, I'd like to end this conversation today with you with your role as a volunteer. You spend a huge part of your time helping organizations, volunteering. What would you say to somebody entering our industry today about the importance of volunteering and what it brought to you?
I will use only the one example. Try. I graduate from my master degree and my dream was to become a doctor, so PhD. That time, so 2007, it was absolutely impossible. Using one of two computers at my university, I found the website of MPI with MPI Foundation with the initiative Women's Leadership Initiative. And I applied. And I got the scholar and I become a doctor. 15 years later, I'm the part of Global Board of Trustees. The only role I think that I didn't have in MPI as an NGO was the chairman of the board or chairman of the foundation. The others, I already being involved. Awards committee, faculty committee, students committee, chapter president, EMEC organizer, all of these committees. Number one, this is our life and our planet. I think we need to give back. Whatever you do, if you are cleaning the forests, go. I'm giving back, being engaged and involved, sharing the knowledge from MPI, ICA, PCMA, EIEE, SITE. These are the ECM. These are the organizations I was involved last 15 years. IRF, lastly. Giving back, number one. Don't be afraid, number two. If someone thinks, if other people think I can be and help with something, let's make it happen. And number three, everyone is talking now about self-development. I've met you. I've met MPI. I've met a lot of people. I learned a lot of things. I learned about new cultures, new religion. Really, this is how NGOs can help you to build your position, not only LinkedIn profile, but the person who you really are.
Beautiful. Krzysztof, thank you so much for your time. My last question, when we meet again next year with a bottle of champagne and a cigar, what are we going to celebrate in 1 year time?
I have some plans. I can say that this year was quite crucial because I summarized another studies regarding coaching. I become the professor and I'm 40 years old. And surprisingly, I just got the Oscar of the industry, which was Hall of Leaders from my perspective. I want to focus a little bit on education and on researching. My new project is from event management to event experiences, how the transformation of events. So this is a business life. Private life, I started the journey of another mountains in my free time. I'm the mountain rescue team member, so I'm helping people in the mountains, and I want to climb all the highest European mountains. So for me, like this, and for us, I think let's stay healthy, keep smiling to each other, and just use the relation that we created over the years.
Awesome. Krzysztof Celuch, dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much, Eric. See you soon.
Krzysztof, thank you very much again for taking the time to speak with me, and congrats on your award in the Hall of Leaders in our industry. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to connect with me, please follow me on LinkedIn or join the Facebook group www.eventbusinessformula.com/group. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please share it with your network. Thank you. Bye-bye.